Hey, what's up everybody? Astral Baby here, and this video comes to you by request of a subscriber who wanted to know how to overcome fear of astral projection. But before I get into that, I get quite a few emails from you guys wondering how did I come up with the name Astral Baby. And believe me, there's a reason behind everything that I do. I never just do anything randomly. The reason why I call myself Astral Baby is because given the history and my natural inclination and experiences with astral projection, I needed something to really personify who I am. So thus, Astral being the first part of my name, Boo comes from my nickname. All of my family members call me Boo Boo. That's my nickname. My mom gave me that nickname as a little boy because they said that I reminded them of Yogi the Bear's sidekick Boo Boo. So there's a term of endearment thrown in there. So I took the Boo, Astral Boo, and I call myself Baby because within the bigger cosmic picture, I realized that I am a baby still working my way back to true maturity and adulthood and understanding this massive consciousness. Now, on to the subject matter at hand. How to overcome fear of astral projection. The first tip that I'm going to give you guys is to please stop listening to people who never consciously astral projected. Stop listening to people who have organized religion as their programming. Stop listening to people who come from a fear-based mind construct. If you really want to know about astral projection, or the urge is really overcoming you to explore it and know more about it, that is because that is an aspect of yourself that's coming forth, is speaking to you. This is your calling. This is a part of your journey. And that being the case, you need to reach out to people, get books, and watch videos. There are plenty of them right here on YouTube from people who know what astral projection is about by way of experience. Those who are most knowledgeable on any subject matter would always be those who walk the walk, who have had the experience. And I'm telling you from experience, astral projection is not what many who come from a place of fear or dogma or religious construct come from. It's not what they're telling you it is. Astral projection was something that was always a part of me, and in the beginning it was somewhat uncomfortable. Yes, there were even times when it was frightening. I didn't have anyone to go to talk about it, but when I realized that this was an aspect of myself and I embraced it, it became less and less uncomfortable, or for some of you guys, for the sake of the conversation, there was no fear because I embraced it. The next tip that I'm going to give you is meditation. Meditation is so very important. Why? Because it helps us to basically center ourselves, quiet the mind, focus. It helps us with our breathing, and it brings us more into alignment with our inner selves. And when our mind is clear and we're more into balance, we're better able to receive information from the spirit world. And we then also release a lot of tension, a lot of stress. So meditation is really helping us on multiple levels. It's helping us to clear our mind, to balance our center, receive information, and when you receive information, you know better, and when you know better, you do better. Oprah uses that, and I love it. It's so true. When you know better, you do better. You start to wing away from belief systems because now you are opening yourself to more things that leads you to absolute inner knowing. So there are lots of books out there. There are even videos, again, on YouTube with different meditation techniques. And the best way to find a technique for you is to experiment with different ones until you find one that makes you the most comfortable. Last but not least, the best way to overcome the fear of astral projection, or any fear, is to what? just face them. There's just no easy pill. There's no quick, simple answer. We can do things to prepare us, like, for instance, the first two tips that I've given you, that makes us more receptive to facing our fears. But the real work is going to come in us just facing them. If you're someone who's having involuntary astral projection experiences, when you feel something happening, what you do is relax your mind, breathe, don't panic, and just go along with it and see what happens. Trust that you will not be harmed. Know that you will not be harmed. Remember, we are immortal beings. If you have a soul, you are an immortal being. You can never be destroyed. So what are you really fearful of? The fear really does come from our conditioning with the unknown. It comes from dogma. It comes from belief systems. It comes from people who are dead strong in keeping people back from realizing or really exploring their multi-dimensional selves. Because, as I've said in other videos, the more we explore our multi-dimensional selves, we are far less likely to be manipulated with fear and conditioning and belief systems. The worst situation that can happen with astral projection is that you could come across an entity that is negative. But guess what? Instead of fearing that, you should see that as an opportunity to challenge yourself to overcome an aspect of fear that you have within, because no entity, no negative entity, no neutral entity, or no positive entity is going to be attracted to your vibration if there isn't something in you that is mirroring that to begin with. So again, many of us really do have a fear of facing ourselves because that has been the program. And it's time to transcend that program by facing it head on. And what will happen is, once you face it head on and you go through it and it's not what you think, your fear begins to lessen. Second time you go through it and you get more comfortable, and before you know it, your fear is gone. It's that way with facing any type of fear. Any type of fear means simply facing it head on. I don't care how ugly, how uncomfortable, or how challenging it may be. We are here toiling in the field. It's not easy, but when we overcome the things that are most difficult in our lives, the reward as the result will be so worth it. So I hope this advice helps you guys, and as always, thank you for your support and happy travel.